Instead, check in with the truth of who and what you are over and over and over again. Because even the good opinions of others, the favorable opinions of others, while that's nice, and it's not to not receive that was a double negative, but you receive that, right? But don't attach your meaning to those opinions. Good, bad, or indifferent. There's a reason why many actors, don't read reviews. Because then you're riding this roller coaster, and you already are on your own. If you are creating anything, a family, a home, a happy life, a business, and a piece of art, something from your heart, food. If you are creating something from your heart, there is a piece of vulnerability in that. Somebody else may not like it. Period. You could bake the best chocolate cake in the world, and somebody will never like chocolate or cake or gluten, and they don't like chocolate cake together, and they hate everything about it, and they're anti-cake, and it doesn't matter what you do, they're not going to like it. That doesn't mean you never take in positive critiques or feedback. I'm an acting teacher, a director. I've worked in the arts my entire life as a stand-up comedian. You cannot be in this craft without taking criticism. It is quite literally part of the job. So you learn to take it. You learn to sift through it, though. You cannot take in all the opinions of everybody and then figure out who you are from the leftover scraps of everyone's opinion. And 20 years ago, think about this, we didn't even have Facebook and all this social media where we're comparing, constant comparison to everybody else and filtering in everybody's opinions of us. So if you want to have a healthy mind, body, spirit, well-being, you cannot take in the opinions of others. I don't know why I keep saying opinions. Opinion. Maybe because they pin ya. They poke ya. They pin ya. Opinion. Why do I say they oppress you? Because you attach yourself, say, even to a positive opinion. They've done, obviously, social studies on all this. I haven't seen that movie about the social experiment, but I know this is all true. Of course, they're tapping into our psyche. Of course, we all signed up for this. In the fine print, sure. When we signed up for social media, and there can be a lot of good. I use it. There can be a lot of good out of it, right? Because we can use it as a tool. You can get information. You can heal. Or it can be used as a way of your demise, comparing, pulling in all the opinions. Nobody liked it. So this is where it can oppress you. So say you always get positive feedback from somebody, and then you don't get anything. Now you're attached to that positive feedback. So while I say you can receive it and you can feel that, there's nothing wrong with that. Because there's nothing wrong with sharing positive compliments and things to other people. That's an exchange of energy, and that can be very uplifting and connecting. So I'm not saying don't do that. Don't be attached to it. Don't make the meaning about who you are attached to the opinion of that person. You can just say thank you. And if you already believe it in you, you know it's just a reflection already. So you're not attached to my identity is wrapped up in your opinion of me, good, bad, or indifferent, because their opinion can change. Why else would people get divorced? Why else would anybody ever leave anything? Opinions change. But we need to touch in with what is the truth about you. I receive negative opinions all the time. I receive positive opinions all the time. You could receive a positive opinion about something that's not in alignment for you anymore, say. Say I got a positive, I've received positive feedback about certain things. I take it as a huge compliment. For instance, I don't act anymore. I teach acting and I direct and I cast as a casting director and things like this. So I'm like on the other side of things and I really enjoy that now. And now things are offered to me sometimes, not all the time. It's not like Hollywood is banging down my door at the moment, but some things have been offered to me and now I don't know that I want to. Now that I don't know that I want to act, and it's not to say I never will, it's just that has shifted for me. So while that's a huge compliment to me when somebody offers something to me, especially when I don't have to audition after years of auditioning and pining after many things, to be offered something is a real honor and a privilege, and I receive that feedback, and that's so nice. And if the right project ever lined up that I felt a calling to do, I'm not saying that I wouldn't do it, maybe I would. But often that's not in alignment for me now. So while it's a compliment, I can't get attached to, well, maybe they won't like me if I don't say yes, because that's such a compliment, see? So now I'm attached to how they think of me. Maybe they won't like me anymore if I don't act. Who am I if I don't do that anymore? So sometimes maybe something was in alignment with you and then it isn't anymore, and you're attached to that compliment, that opinion of somebody, so you continue to do it while your opinion has changed. This is a sort of a silly example, but I went to the nail salon this past weekend, my mom and my daughter, and it was like a fun little girls' date. And my daughter is like the second time she's ever been, so it's like a real treat. She's 5, for those of you that don't know. And we're all picking out our colors, and my daughter loves pink. She's like a very pink princessy type girl. And she actually picked each fingernail to be a different color. And on, a couple of the nails, she picked black. And at first, my mom's very old-fashioned. She's like, oh, black. And my daughter is her name's Faith, and she lives up to her name. And she says, yes, I love it. I think it's very fancy. And it did look great. And I actually want to try black. I've seen it on a lot of girls, and it's very chic. But she just owned it. She owned that she wanted to try it. How many times have you shut down on yourself when you liked something? Maybe a song came on and you're like, oh yeah, this is my jam. And somebody else is like, I hate this song. Ugh. And then you're like, oh right, that's stupid. Just to appease them. Or you don't say anything to just make them comfortable because they don't like it. Because of their opinion. So they're entitled to their opinion. I still don't know why I keep saying it like that. Because it's going to opinion you. It's going to oppress you because you're going to start oppressing your own innate feelings and emotions about something. So as a stand-up comic, as an actor, having that background, I've received a ton of criticism. And then as a business owner, businesses are targets all the time. All the time for different things, as I had somebody one time pitch me on doing a workshop with me and wanted me to do all the marketing, all the email newsletter, use all of my students, use my facility, use my website. I would, use everything, all of my stuff. And their pitch was that they would take 100% of the proceeds. I was like, not even 60-40, 50-50, 70, nothing. 100% for them, and I do all the work. Well, it's not how a lot of businesses work. I mean, even when you're running a charity, and I have the nonprofit, and also we've done charity events, and I've even done stand-up comedy events where we do give all the proceeds to charity. There are different structures like that. But this, idea that the business owner is wrong for not just constantly taking a loss, that's not right. But you can get into that trap because you think, oh, I don't want their opinion. When I, in another lifetime, was a manager at different restaurants and things, people would always ask for donations, and we would give a ton of donations. And then sometimes people would just want everything. It's like they want like a $200,000 party for free. And it's like, you can't do that. So you would be out of business. But a lot of people don't understand that. So if you're attached to the opinion of that person, because maybe their opinion was like, you're the best ever, and now you know that they're going to think suddenly you're the worst ever, you have to risk that opinion because you have to stay true to who you are and what you do and what you can do. Otherwise, people will just be disappointed anyway. So oftentimes that I've gone above and beyond what I knew I could do, the person was disappointed, and I am extra spent because I went above and beyond what I could do, and it still wasn't good enough. So then nobody wins. So something I learned that has helped me in my own business when I was running events as an events coordinator at a fine dining restaurant is I learned how we do what we do best. And if you want something else, you go somewhere else. If you're a French restaurant, you serve French food. You serve the best. You're not serving, everything at the French restaurant. You're not serving Chinese, Italian, Mexican, everything. Is too confusing. Do what you do and do it the best way that you can. It's not going to please everybody. Everyone's not going to like French food. Everyone's not going to like the chocolate cake. That's okay. And then you can take feedback from people who you respect, who are doing, something at a level that you admire and respect and look up to. But you can't take just the opinions of everybody in. It will absolutely push you down. So I was really proud of my daughter for standing up for something so simple as nail polish, but she just to stand up for herself. Like, I like it. Because there's been many times in my life where I've shut her down. Okay, everybody else wants something else, so my needs don't matter. And when you begin to pile that on each time, it might seem like a simple thing like nail polish. Who cares? That's so superficial. But you do that once, and then the next time it's, I want to go for a walk, and somebody else is like, walking's dumb. And then so you don't walk. I mean, this is how sometimes couples will atrophy together. One partner loves taking bike rides and the other one doesn't because they have a bad back, and then they guilt trip the other one in a codependent partnership or something, right? This is how it becomes set up for misery. So it might seem like a small thing, but one day you turn on the bike ride because you're trying to appease them instead of being in alignment with you. You can still honor and say, I get where you are, and I'm sorry you can't go for a bike ride or you don't enjoy that. Maybe we could do something together that you enjoy or that we enjoy together. But I'm not going to sacrifice things that I enjoy, because the more sacrifices that you make, pretty soon you don't recognize yourself. And that's how you lose your total peace of mind. So it's been a work in progress for me to let go of the opinions of others. It's so much self-love. Yesterday, every time I do a video, I have to learn that lesson every time. So this is like a major co-creation since the beginning of when I started this YouTube. Because years ago, for many of you that know my story, I wanted to start a YouTube channel years ago. And because I have this acting background and journalism and editing and all these things, I let that stop me because I was like, I don't have this or that, or sometimes there's so many reasons why, a shoot or something can go wrong. The lighting is off. You could set it up perfect every day And then today the lighting is different and it doesn't work. And it's like, oh, it's so embarrassing because the audio is terrible and the lighting's bad and it's reflecting in the window and it's so embarrassing and it's awful. And then you just have this dark night of the soul and you go, yes, but what is my mission? Is my mission to just put out always it perfect? You want it to be as good as you can get it, but sometimes things happen. Life happens. We're imperfect beings. And that's where we've set ourselves up for failure, is this idea of perfectionism. And then we hate it and love it. We see people who are these perfect images and we're like, oh, it's so fake. I love it, hate it, whatever. And then we ridicule the people who are imperfect. So which one is it? Let us just be perfect, whole, and complete as we are, making mistakes. I make mistakes all the freaking time. And I get comments on it. Oh, that was stupid. You know, shot that thing with a potato, whatever. Yes, yeah, you're right. And I'm continuing. And I'm going to continue to make mistakes. And there's things I go, oh my God. I mean, yesterday I posted a video and I was like having a major allergy. I was up at a farm and there's so many different things this time of year. Colorado is like not my place to be this time of year because all the pollen is out. And while I love it and it's beautiful, I'm allergic to absolutely everything. And it's just the sexiest feature on me. I just erupt in like rashes and I'm like itchy and it's not a pleasant time. And so I was in my alignment where I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go for it and I'm just going to do it. And it's just going to be perfectly imperfect and I'm going and I'm doing it and whatever. And I did it. And then I posted it and later I was like, oh my God, why did I do that? It's terrible. I look awful in the framing and I'm holding it. And I'm like, Leah, what was the message of the content? Every single time, whatever spirit has me deliver to you is what I have to learn as well. So we're all just mirrors of each other. So I say, oh my God, just self-love, accept where you are. Stop ridiculing yourself. I'm so worried about the opinion of somebody else. Oh my gosh, she looks terrible. She's not perfect. She's not the Instagram model. Okay, got it. Let go of those opinions of others that are infiltrating and taking up space in your well-being because it is a ripple effect. It is an absolute ripple effect on everything else you do. It costs you in so many ways. I had this uncle who, God bless his soul, right? I want to believe he had good intentions, but he, you know, some people do spiritual abuse, and he would blackmail all of us basically so that he could have control. He would blackmail us with money. If you don't do this, if you do that, basically he has ownership over your life, then you won't go to hell and he'll pay you like $500 or something. Well, none of us went for it. Like none of us cousins went for it. None of my family members went for it. We're like, no, that's like weird and controlling. And even if I don't do the things that you don't want me to do, it's none of your business because it's my life. And I'm a sovereign being and you don't have control over that with or without your $500 or warning of going to hell. And so that didn't work out very well in his favor because then he didn't want to talk to us and we didn't want to talk to him because he wanted full control and we didn't want to sign over our life rights to him. And so we just didn't have a relationship with him, which was kind of sad because he lived in my same city for a long time. Well, he passed away, and in his elderly years, he also really took advantage of my grandma and lied to her and it was elderly abuse. And he took over her estate and all these different things. Well, we found out, of course, when he died, how much really he had lied about everything and all the truth was revealed. And so a lot of family members are super upset, really upset. And I get it. It's real. That's real. And it just goes deep. So many things that he did and hid and stealing burial plots and just, all sorts of things that are just you could write a whole melodrama about it. But the bottom line is, yeah, that happened. But what are you going to do? You're going to go curse the night? You're going to go complain about it to every single solitary person? I can't believe he did this. Because see, then now you're just still giving him the control. And he's not even alive anymore. So when you do that, you literally hand over the control of your life to somebody else. And they could even be not even present or alive. But see, you do that because then you recycle it. And I'm telling you this so to help impart some information, hopefully, instead of just sitting in a complaint about something. Because when you do that, then your car breaks down and then you get sick and then your immune system shuts down. About a month and a half ago, I wasn't super nice with myself. I was kind of really being very mean to myself, taking on the opinions of somebody else. And I just made it mean a lot of really negative things about myself. And then I believe that's why I got sick. My daughter was sick, but she's sick, she's a kid, she's preschool. So she gets sick a lot and I never do. And I believe in the moments that I do get sick is when my immune system is weak, when my nervous system is shut down, when I'm starting to believe a negative opinion. I'm taking it on. So yesterday, I even had to sit with myself. I'm like, so what if I have bumps all over my skin? Leah, there are burn victims. There are people born disfigured. Just because we live in a world of Instagram models and comparison, and those people are beautiful too. But this unrealistic ideal that we're living up to, that everything always has to be perfect. And it doesn't. Don't let it stop you. Don't let the opinions of others stop you. Don't let the opinions of that ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, the narcissistic family member, the narcissistic employer, the narcissistic whatever it was, right? I hear this all the time from so many people. And my heart goes out to you. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm not saying that it didn't hurt. But don't give your life rights over to them because of it. Close your eyes for a moment and just take a deep breath in and out. Feel your beating heart. Breathe in and out your prana and open your eyes. That's your life force. That's there for you, regardless of the opinions of anybody. Keep following your heart. Keep feeling that energy, your breath, your prana, your life force. Stay in alignment with what feels good to you. You know it's out of alignment when you get all hyper speedy and feel like you can literally feel your body almost like veering off course. It's out of alignment. It's like my mug says then, it's more self-love time. It's always time for more self-love. What is the opinion of yourself? Check in with that. Sometimes that's the most painful. It's like, oh my God, it's saying I'm not good enough. It's saying I'm not good enough unless I have perfect skin all the time. It's saying I'm not good enough unless I look absolutely perfect, unless everything is absolutely perfect, unless I do it all absolutely perfect. What is perfect? It doesn't exist. And anybody who gives you unsolicited opinions is abusing themselves and others. Because I, for a living, give out advice. I, for a living, do private coaching and help people and give advice and steer people, but I'm giving solicited information. And I'm giving them my undivided attention. And I'm taking their whole heart into consideration, their whole being. Anybody who has time to just roll around and troll around and make half-witted comments is not living up to their highest potential. I can guarantee you. Because I don't know anybody of high value, being of service, on purpose, with purpose, living their life mission with love, who has time, energy, or interest to do that. So if that's happened to you, I apologize. And sometimes it's a family member. Sometimes it's somebody you don't even know. But it doesn't matter. What is the opinion of yourself?